Well, listen, even if they swapped Russ for Kyrie, they'd still, be short probably a perimeter defender. There's availability questions with Anthony Davis. There's some availability questions with LeBron. There's massive availability questions with Kyrie Irving. It's first-time head coach. But yeah, they'd be the favorite and they'd win the title. Oh my goodness gracious! The king stay the king, bro. Oh, it's all going terrible. Where's he gonna play next? Oh, the only thing the Lakers have going for him, I even said it, was LeBron breaking Kareem's scoring title. And now all of a sudden, getting the band back together, plus a little sprinkling of Anthony Davis. And the Nets are down so bad, they're trying to leak. Hey, Philadelphia's actively engaged Kyrie Irving. No, they're not. I can report firsthand. Philadelphia is not actively engaged in Kyrie Irving. I can't report if Dallas is or not, but the folks who cover the Mavs have reported they're not actively engaged in Kyrie Irving. So why would all of a sudden it being leaked out there, Philly might want him, Dallas might want him? Because right now, Sean Marks is in a negotiation with the Lakers, and he's trying to pull some leverage. But amazingly, Kyrie Irving is more toxic of an asset than Russell Westbrook. Because Russell Westbrook, at least we know, he'll be a good teammate. He'll play. He won't light your organization on fire. He might injure some people with some ricochets off the backboard. But aside from that, he's good to go. Kyrie, on the other hand, you know nothing about. So we are now to the part of the story where the Lakers are like, yeah, Russ and a pick for Kyrie, but we're going to need Seth Curry. And the Nets are like, no, take Joe Harris instead. And the Lakers are like, and the Lakers are balking at it. They're like, no, we're going to hold the line at Seth Curry. So listen, hey, I can solve everyone's problem. Russ plus Kendrick Nunn. And you know what? Make it 2 first-round picks, 27 and 29, for Kyrie, Joe Harris, and Seth Curry. Put that in your little trade machine. That works. I don't know if they'll get that. I do know they'll get Kyrie and another shooter, and I do know that the world will be right again because our annual tradition of watching LeBron James in the finals after a 2-year drought, 2 years without seeing LeBron in the finals, that hasn't happened since the W. Bush administration. Can't have it again. So yeah, they'll be the favorites. They'll be the favorites.
Well, look, Nick, I like you would love to see LeBron in the finals. I'd love to see LeBron get another ring. He's that great of a player. I'd love to see it. But I got to say something to the Nets. I hope they're watching. And you're right about all this foolishness about, Philadelphia wants him. Dallas wants him. No, they don't. Stop it. There's one team in the league that wants Kyrie. Now, maybe a little later, maybe if you kept him into the season, with, as the trade deadline approaches, maybe a team would trade for Kyrie just to let him walk in free agency and get the cap room. Maybe that. But right now, it's the Lakers or bust. But here's the thing. Stop being wimps, Nets. And I'm not trying to derail a Kyrie to LA trade, but stop being wimps. All right? You don't man up one time and then go back to being soft. But you want to trade? Okay. You don't have to trade Kyrie, certainly not for Russell Westbrook, and you certainly don't let the Lakers dictate the terms. He's still under contract. If you trade for Westbrook, it is for one reason and one reason alone. So he can walk next summer and I can get the $47 million in payroll relief. That's it. You can do the same thing with Kyrie, except it'd be a little less, about $37 million in cap space. Or you can trade him later, so relax. Don't rush in anything. I'm just trying to give them some advice as a New Jersey native who remembers when they were based in New Jersey. All right, but let me answer your question, Jenna. On paper, yes, they would be the favorites. But Nick glossed over a lot of big things. AD's health, Kyrie's health, and sanity, right? I mean, is he gonna get tired of playing with LeBron after 6 weeks? Will he get homesick? There's all sorts of things with Kyrie. And LeBron's only played 60 or more games one time in his 4 years with the Lakers. So there are a lot of questions. Nick, I think they've added athleticism. They do need to add shooting. Maybe they would get that in the Kyrie trade. But because of all the other ifs, I'm going to say on paper, yes. But in reality, I'd still be hesitant to give them the ring just yet because I want to see how they would play, how they would come together and be healthy.
Yeah. Okay, well, Broussard, please do not doubt Sean Marks' decision-making. Now, granted, he fired Kenny Atkinson, gutted the team's core, traded for James Harden, then got rid of James Harden, then angered Kyrie and KD to the point they want to leave, and Ben Simmons just deactivated his Instagram account. But things are still, it's all under control. Don't forget, he once has some experience with the Spurs. Don't worry, it's Sean Marks, everybody. Everything's going fine. How he still got the job, I have no clue. All right, but to Nick, here's the thing that I'm just going to take a breath on. I understand the power of LeBron James. You know, he can turn water into Lobos. I get it. But haven't we seen the story that, put a bunch of pieces together and it's going to work out because LeBron will make it work? We saw it in his tweet that he admonished us because we doubted AD's health. We doubted the way he plays, which was Russ. And this is the tweet. He had later deleted this, so we always have to pull it up from the archives. Then he also has this Instagram that doesn't get as much publicity as this tweet. No, I'll work with Brody. I agree. I don't think this will work. LOL. That's a cap. We've seen this story before. That granted, Kyrie didn't work in Cleveland, where he left LeBron, and then didn't work in Boston and didn't work in Brooklyn. But now, once he's reunited with LeBron can smooth everything over. I just don't believe it because we saw it last year and it didn't work.
Yeah, but what we saw what didn't work in LA wasn't because of personalities. What didn't work in LA was because of ability. What didn't work in LA, there was the injuries, obviously, and the injuries. Listen, if LeBron at this point in his career, is going to, like Brew mentioned, miss 30 games a year, then yes, then the math is different. I don't think that's necessarily the case. And Anthony Davis, we'll see, and we'll talk more about him in a moment. But it was what didn't work in LA. LeBron absolutely misjudged the fit of Russell Westbrook. We know that basketball-wise, it fits. And we know that if you were talking about the skill set of a player, Kyrie's skill set is one that fills in the blanks of what the Lakers need more than anything. Shooting and the ability to create your own shot without LeBron spoon-feeding it to you. Now, let me say something to the Nets, however, because Brew was trying to talk to them. The Nets are a man who is, in a rocky spot at his workplace and in his marriage. And Brew has been the therapist he goes to for advice. And you know what? The guy's listened to every piece of advice the therapist has given him. Yeah. And 6 weeks into the sessions, he's like, hey, how's it going? It's like, well, she left me, and I'm unemployed. I think the house is getting evicted this week. And Brew is having the audacity to be like, hold the line. You listen, it might look like it's going bad. It might look like I've given you the worst advice possible, that your house is on fire, you have no family, you see your kids every other Thursday. But I'm telling you, it's at least you can look yourself in the mirror. At least you can look yourself in the mirror and say, I was a man. Manhood. At least it's like, I know you're unhappy and unemployed and single.
My gosh.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.